Thank you for tuning in to the Bud and Roach Show.
So back in the day, this was during the time where this was long before YouTube. This was when you had to get the DVD. This is when you had to go to the street vendor to get the DVD because they didn't have it in stores.
Eventually the DVD did end up in stores though. Eventually. But you really had to get it from bootleggers.
But it was like the And1 mixtape. You had to get it from the streets.
You know why you had to get it from the streets though? Because the only vendors to get it from were those people who were like $39.99 for 4 years. Like, you know, $39.
It was like Smack DVD. You had to get it from the bootlegger.
Yeah. Either the bootlegger or the official source for like $50.
Honestly, I feel like this was during a time when bootleggers was actually breaking artists. They were like breaking brands and shit.
That's how we got it. That's why we got put onto a lot of shit. That's how I got put onto And1. I'm not gonna lie, Streetball. Like this level of Streetball, I knew it existed, but to see these niggas was doing what they did, man. And it was a worldwide phenomenon, bro. It was literally a world. It still is. Eventually. Initially,
it was
an urban phenomenon.
It was a local, just like, what the fuck is going on at the park? This is what's going down at Rucker. This is what's going down in the streets.
Yo, even more than it's like, yo, this is going down at local playgrounds. There were places that weren't Rucker, that weren't these big parks. That is just like, it looked like the backyard right now. Like, in everyone, yo, I could never dribble, but for all of you that had handles, once And1 came out, forget about it. I'm saying whoosh, behind the back, like so all sorts of shit.
Before we even get into the detailed And1 stories that we all have, for those who listened to the last podcast, we got them back. Psycho T and Penny is in the fucking house, and you will hear from them shortly. But And1 mixtape, before I'm gonna get it started real quick, and I'm just gonna be the first person to say that my room was carpeted. I had a carpet. You remember this? And I had a deflated basketball, so I had to dribble extra hard just to get a bounce. And when I got the And1 mixtape, I cleared out all the furniture, and I would dribble in one place for 5 hours a day. I thought that was going to make me a basketball legend. And when I got on the court, I would dribble 5 minutes before I took a shot because there was no shot clock in the backyard. And
just keep going.
It just showed me how much of a hype job this brand really was. Because essentially, all they did was just teach people how much they're not going to achieve in life.
Dang.
If you can do this and just be a street ball player, then what chance do I have?
I want to. That was something that was realistic, man. That was fucked up.
Yo, y'all aren't even in the league, my guys.
Like, yo,
I'm gonna pass this off.
But that also reminds me of why they aren't in the league, man. But yo, like this affected both of us. When did you first? When did you first see And1 or witness like street ball like that, Penny?
Growing up in a third world country, Philippines, PI, when they were talking about the DVDs, bro, I remember I was like 6, 7 years old. My mom do say, yo, you could go home alone. I've been getting allowance, and I was like, yo, let me try these spots. Because I'll be walking, and you got to act innocent. You're like, yo, because, bootleggers don't just sell good shit. They also sell, like, some obscene shit, like the bootleg porn, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this dude pulls up to you in a black plastic bag, and he pulls it up. Yo, you just see a CD cover of, like, hentai or some shit. I'm like, yo, my nigga. Like, I'm, like, 7 years old.
Until you
like,
find out what hentai is.
What am I diving into?
Anime.
And then I'm like, nah, yo, I'm just looking for like basketball, and this dude showed me And1, and I bought like 3 CDs. I got the And1 mixtape. I got NBA Street volume, some shit, and cause I was just like, you know what, let me fuck with this, and then just seeing And1, bro, it's just dumb funny when you guys mentioned the DVD shit, cause these niggas be scheming, yo, like, yo, they put out the good shit in front, and when you come closer, you're like, yo, I got some good shit too. Pulls up the hentai from the back.
Yeah. Oh shit, for real. Shit, man. When
Psycho
I first, I first
AKA
seen the
Tyler
And1. Yo, Brad Pitt, we gonna come for that question.
Better have Scorsese ready. Insider.
Welcome to Flight Club, gentlemen.
We here,
Facts.
man.
We got that's crazy. That shit's really good.
And1, I say I can't really depict or say like the exact moment of like when it hit me or witness, but I can tell you that the talent that I have seen in And1 or just Streetball in general is absolutely ridiculous. The shit they be doing, the passes, the handling, especially the name I'm about to bring up. Y'all should know my man Escalade was the dude
For the big boys.
for the big boys out here, for the 300 pounders. My dude Escalade was up there.
Yo,
for sure,
Escalade,
for sure,
B, the shit he could do. Yes, all right, may rest in
Yo,
peace,
yeah,
man.
Rest in peace. For
May
sure,
rest
for
in
sure.
peace, man.
Sure,
But
for
the
sure.
shit he was doing at his size, bro. And I'll just, he already knows what my favorite And1 bowler ever was. He ain't have the greatest handle like me, bro. And he could fly when he did. And he wasn't all super duper shit, but it was all power when he finished. Main event, bro.
knew it.
Main event, bro. Yo, bro, when I was that age, when I could get up and down the court and get up and finish on a street ball court where those rims are just a little bit lower, yo, it was fucking like, yo, that was the people who knew me knew where to get it to me, bro. They knew if you saw me at any point do this and I'm on a rim, will you see me do this? Toss it.
I'm flying.
Toss it. I'm going to get it. I'm going to go get it. There weren't many rims I could do that on, but there were enough.
You know, I'm not a big guy, and I never had that much skill on the court.
Yeah.
So I always admired, like, you know, half man, half amazing, and hot sauce, and skip to my Lou, and all those
Sure,
guys.
for sure.
Those were the legends.
Skip to my
AO,
Jesus.
rest in peace. That's another one that I just found out fucking
AO
died.
Bass?
He died. He got killed.
He got killed?
He got killed.
Like murdered, like
I heard he got shot. Yeah.
Nigga, AO? I didn't even know
And
that.
he was one of my favorites on the tour. That's why, like, that shit cut me when I heard that shit.
for sure, for sure.
But
Main event was always like that.
I'm a techie. I'm a tech guy. I'm the guy that you would imagine works at Apple. I wear the glasses, just dingy, dirty jeans, and I just talk too much when I drink. What I saw was a dwindling brand. When they went on tour, I saw that the sponsors weren't keeping up with the demand. That shit was going to end. It was almost like WCW. You knew the shit was going to implode.
Yo, whoever, I don't even know. Does anyone know who was the person who thought to market the And1 Streetball tour? Like, they ended up on a video game. That this brand, like you said,
Who
was
ended up on a video game?
Street Hoops. And one of the
Oh,
ballers.
these guys. I thought you
guys.
said I thought the person that invented
No.
all this shit.
No,
I was like, yo,
Street
what is he, an unlockable character?
No.
The fuck?
I mean, but the person who had the person who had the wherewithal to, while And1 was failing the thing, to put these guys best that aren't in the NBA, but the best of their class, who everyone loves, who everyone recognizes as the best in the world at what they do, at that level, and to put them all together, put this together. Whoever had the wherewithal to think of that, you saved this brand. Like, this started when we were in high. Let's essentially, I'm gonna say we weren't even in high school, bro.
Yeah, but the video
When
game,
no,
video game didn't save the brand.
it didn't. No, this saved the band. That was just an extension of it. The Streetball tour, the And1 mixtape saved And1, like the brand, and has And1
but it's
around.
still defunct.
They're
it's-
not selling clothes anymore.
It's no,
I
but
feel like I see people in And1 shorts when I play ball all the time that look new as fuck.
yeah, but you're talking about the brand itself, the players that made the brand. That's like saying WWF is still thriving, but Hulk Hogan is on the streets looking for work. Like, the guy who made the company should have some say in the company. They don't have any say in this shit.
I feel bad, but we all know
my
what.
point to saying all this shit that I was saying before is that The only person that I saw on the And1 mixtape that I felt was gonna become something bigger and did was the Professor.
Yeah.
The Professor, bro. The way the Professor did this shit, I cannot believe this motherfucker is flying all over the world on his own tour, bro. His own fucking tour. His own sponsors. He got his own logo that he's doing the dribble in the beginning that it goes into the logo. Like, you can't make this shit up. How is it that all these Streetball legends, and I hate to say this shit, but goddamn, man, this shit is like, this is just hood shit that happened. These are just people that can't keep up with what's going on. These are people that have all the talent in the world. It reminds me of these artists in the industry.
Hold on.
The best talent in the world, but they don't know what the fuck they're doing.
I want to slow you down right there. You said his name. You said Streetball name. We only know one real legend that made it from And1 to the NBA and did it how he should have. And you said his name. Skip to my Lou. Ray Alston.
Bro.
Ray Alston is the only, like, out of these players. Other players had the opportunities, and if you watch, we watched the the And1 Streetball tour. But remember the actual shit on ESPN, like, that followed them around on the tour, on the buses and everything, the TV show. That shit was sad to kind of see some of these guys talking about how they blew their opportunities and what they did because they wanted to hang around and be in the hood and be hood stars and be hood legends. And what you said, I agree with to a certain extent. It was something that popped in the hood, and they thought that was going to be the ticket forever. And there were other people, like the Professor, who saw more. And like the person, whoever owns the And1 name is still selling And1 clothes to Kmart and wherever the fuck And1 sold, like Burlington and TJ Maxx. To some extent, And1 is still making some amount of money, at least in the six figures. At least, you know.
I believe And1 as a brand existed before the mixtape.
It did.
Yeah.
It
No,
did.
definitely. It was
and
like-
it only,
They
it existed.
It's for the ballers.
No, listen to me. It existed before the mixtapes, and it only still exists because of the mixtapes. Yeah. That is the only, and there's no denying it too. The two can't be separated.
All that happened was some businessmen created a brand that was basically targeted to the urban demographic. They said, listen, how do we blow up this basketball brand? Let's get the best basketball players that's selling fucking dope, that are still running in the streets, that are doing all this shit. Let's pay them dirt minimum.
Let's get the hood legends.
Let's fly them around
hood
coach.
Legends.
Let's fly them around coach, city to city. Matter of fact, no, let's get a fucking bus. My cousin owns a bus company. We'll get it for cheap. And that's when the curls start coming out, bro. That's when the real business starts coming out. So you got to understand, they went in, they used these Streetball legends to take a brand to another level, and then they deserted them.
I mean, I hate to admit, we have learned that's how business goes, and it's sad, man. I feel bad. I feel bad that these gentlemen helped build this brand, and now they're where they are in their lives. And I mean,
some of them are trying to pick up with what the Professor's doing though, like dude Bone Collector.
I saw
Like
Bone Collector was trying to do something.
He was training with like NBA players, like showing them like, yo, this is a move, and let me see if you can do it. And then NBA players like, oh, you know what, maybe I could use this in the game. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're trying to sauce somebody up, why not ask an M1 Streetballer to teach you?
Sure,
that was the main purpose, man. You saw them sauce up, you're like, yo, I could get saucy. And you used to rewind the tape, rewind the CD, play it in what, slower motion, because you're like, yo, he puts it under this shit, trying to, the whole shirt shit, the whole throwing over the shit, like that's the easiest shit. You're like, yo, you know what? You just threw the ball over. Let me just act like I'm dribbling. And like you said, bro, like Roach said, man, he was like, you were in the courts just dribbling. Because you were like, yo, if I could dribble this much, it gets my dribbling better. Like, bro, life's just a video game, man. Like, you're increasing your skill. You're like, you know what? If I dribble for 5 minutes, that's like a plus 0.5 of my life skill in dribbling. You know what I'm saying? Like, real life stats, my guy. Like,
yo, dead ass.
Like,
yo, like,
you used to put weights on your ankles. You're like, yo, if I take this off, my resistance improves. You know what I'm saying? My speed, velocity is gonna get better. You just look at life like, yo, you know what? I gotta upgrade today, my guy.
Yo, junior year, I used to run my laps when we had to run laps before practice. I would borrow one of the guys who ran track. I would borrow his weights and put them on my ankles and run my laps with those on like it was gonna make me better, bro. I don't know. I don't know if I ever did, bro. But I couldn't honestly say. I'm not gonna sit here and lie and say it did. I couldn't tell you.
You said main event, and for a long time I already knew that shit. We grew up on this shit. I need to get y'all. I don't want to say greatest Streetball legend. I want to say favorite.
Favorite.
Say favorite.
Main event's not the greatest. He's my favorite.
So, let's hear Psycho T real quick.
Talk about favorites.
Favorite Streetball legend.
Y'all know me, man.
You have more than one.
I'm RIP. I'm gonna have to go with the Escalade, or even the Professor, man. Them
Killing it.
Escalade put
Well,
the big
Professor.
dudes on the map, showing you that like it ain't, you don't just gotta be tall. You don't gotta be just short, skinny. You be, anywhere you are, any form you are, and still be good at what you do for sure. Definitely
Facts.
crafty, y'all. He was like the black Jason Williams, 300-pounder. You feel what I'm saying? Doing the passes.
But his size, he was light on his feet.
Yeah.
He was breaking other people's ankles. Yeah, and he was dunking.
His size,
Grown man status.
Light on his feet, and he could get up and finish on you.
But yeah,
Yo, he probably was wearing weights, man. He probably was wearing weights. His speed just improved,
Yo,
his
for
resistance,
sure,
all
yo.
of that. It's
Rock
like, yo,
Lee
if I take
status,
this
yo.
off, I'm faster than everybody.
I'm telling you for
Nah,
sure. But
That's
respect-
dope, bro. I fuck
respect
with
to,
Escalade too, OD. Mine's gotta be hot sauce, and
Saucy.
main reason why is I remember having those old school Nokia phones, and you could, the first generation where you could download the games with color. Right, I download And1, my block figures, my nigga, and you just see the name Hot Sauce, and you're like, yo, this dude pulling up, he's heating up, you fill up the meters, and I'm like, yo, bro, multiplayer back then was infrared, and I was, yo, you know what, I'm saucing niggas with hot sauce, I fuck with hot sauce, you know what I'm
Nah,
saying?
yeah, you feel me?
Like, he brings the sauce.
He helped with me, you feel
in
what
the
I'm
name,
saying?
in the name of, he helped with me, my guy.
Nah, for
And
sure.
you know
yo.
what? This dude's onto something. He's bringing out the sauce. He's fucking
Nah,
dope.
for sure,
man.
yo. So Roach, man.
And he showed up with hot sauce like Hillary Clinton did at Power 105.
Heard that.
Remember that shit? I'm going to say, as much as I love hot sauce and Professor and all these guys, I believe the person that I'm about to say has passed away.
R.I.P.
But it was the last And1 mixtape that I got. He was the feature on it. Ali Mo. Remember Ali Mo?
Mm.
Ali Mo to me was the black Dirk Nowitzki.
Mm.
And to me he had it all. He could drive to the hoop, he could shoot a three. Like, the man was versatile. He wasn't too flashy. He was he had Jason Williams style passes. He was doing wild shit. And they always led to assists. They were never too scattered. And I seen a lot of the games that he played. I became so obsessed with his career when I got that DVD, because this was around the time that I was dribbling on fucking carpet, that I started like watching the other games that weren't on the DVD, that people would just amateur footage, and the shit that they didn't include in the DVD was still like extraordinary shit.
It's spectacular, man. There's a level of talent they have that just, at that level is the best in the world. It's unfortunate they didn't make it to the next level. But someone who in this podcast we didn't mention, but at that time was one of the old heads who came up back then, man, who you'll probably remember, his name was always around. We both know who he was, man. Half man, half amazing.
Half man, half amazing. Ooh.
Him
I
and
just
main
inhaled
event,
that
half
shit,
man,
bro.
half amazing, and main event, bro. Those were
That shit good, because I was about to say it. I knew he was going to say this shit. I know you too well. Bro.
those were the two, bro. Those were the two for Streetball for me, man.
So, final thought, and I'm just going to close it out, because I think I'm going to sum this up on behalf of everyone. If you have the talent of a streetball legend, and you're not doing what Professor's doing right now, then you're just gonna be a hood legend. You're just gonna be somebody in the hood that can get credit at the deli, that can get credit with the dealer, and is always gonna buy the same yellow Coors cans, 2 of them, at 8 o'clock every night.
And it's a Coors Light. You said Coors.
Coors, the
Said
$2
the banquet
cans.
beer, the heavy joints. He didn't even say the I've had a hard day, I just need to go to sleep. You said the I've had a shitty fucking week, I need more.
So
Said the heavy jumps.
I
Coors is heavier than Coors Lights, man.
I feel like there's too much information. There's too much information out there for people to still be making the same mistakes. We can learn from other people now. Half of these people that fucked up have documentaries on Netflix. Watch them. Learn
I got
what
homie
not
with
to
Fire
do.
Festival, nigga made one with Netflix and then made another one with fucking Hulu showing all the illegal shit he was still doing.
Come
Like,
on.
what the fuck are you thinking, buddy? Like, you think different fucking streaming platforms? Like, what are you thinking?
But if any of y'all do anything, y'all need to follow us, man.
And when you follow us, you need to know why the fuck you follow us. Because we do the fucking, you heard?
Thank you for tuning in to the Bud and Roach Show.